Leo here. Imagine walking into a place where the houses still stand, doors unlocked, dinner plates still on tables, yet not a single soul remains. No signs of a hurried departure, no footprints in the dust. Just silence, as if the entire population had stepped out for a moment and never returned. That's exactly the mystery of a village that seemed to dissolve into thin air overnight, leaving behind a perfect snapshot of life abruptly halted. But here's the unexpected truth. Beneath that stillness lies a puzzle that has defied historians, investigators, and even those who once called it home. The first thing to strike investigators wasn't the emptiness itself, but the order of it. Laundry hung neatly on lines, livestock penned and watered, radios humming softly. In most abandoned settlements, decay tells the story of a slow decline. Here, it looked as if the clock had stopped at the exact same second for everyone. What could compel an entire community to walk away in unison without taking food, clothing, or valuables? You probably haven't heard this before, but some of the earliest police reports hint at a strange unease in the days leading up to the disappearance. Travelers passing through recalled the villagers acting unusually restrained, avoiding direct conversation and exchanging brief, almost coded glances. Was this the sign of an internal agreement, perhaps to leave together? Or the pressure of something they dared not speak aloud? Adding to the intrigue, official records list no outbound traffic from the area during that time. No vehicles, no horse-drawn carts, no recorded train tickets purchased. If they left invisibly. Stay with me, because what comes next will surprise you. Near the village's edge, search teams found a line of footprints in the damp earth. They led straight to the riverbank and stopped. There were no return prints, no signs of boarding a boat, and the water was too shallow for large craft. One theory points to mass psychosis, a rare phenomenon where a community's shared beliefs or fears spiral into collective action. Psychologists note cases where rumor and anxiety have triggered sudden migrations. But here's why this matters. The villagers left behind items they would need to survive even a short journey. Coats in the winter chill, tools essential for work, personal keepsakes. That defies the typical logic of a planned departure. Folklore offers a different lens. Local legends speak of an ancient curse tied to the land, warning that those who settle too long will be called away. While skeptics dismiss this as superstition, the timing is eerie. Archaeologists found evidence of at least 2 earlier settlements in the same spot, both abandoned under equally mysterious conditions. Could history be repeating itself? Investigators also entertained a more modern possibility: a covert government relocation. In remote areas, sudden evacuations have occurred for reasons ranging from environmental hazards to classified testing. Yet in this case, there are no official evacuation orders on file, no military presence recorded, and no subsequent use of the land. It remains untouched, as though deliberately avoided. And then, there's the strangest lead of all. A set of coded messages allegedly found in the mayor's desk drawer. Written in an archaic cipher, they have never been publicly decoded. Were they warnings, instructions, or a final farewell to someone who knew where they were going? Whatever the answer, it's locked away in symbols no one has yet cracked. But here's the part that continues to haunt researchers. Decades later, descendants of the vanished villagers have been traced to other regions. When approached, many refuse to speak of the place. Some even deny it ever existed, despite birth records proving otherwise. Why the silence? And what truth are they still protecting? Some researchers believe the silence is a shield, either from fear of something still watching, or a pact made long ago to keep outsiders from prying into whatever truly happened. In interviews, a few descendants reportedly grew pale when the village name was mentioned, offering curt responses before changing the subject. That kind of reaction isn't just reluctance, it's the reflex of someone who has been warned not to speak. You probably haven't heard this before, but aerial surveys taken years after the disappearance show something unusual. A subtle, circular depression in the earth surrounding the village site, as though the ground itself had sunk in a perfect ring. Geologists who examined the imagery couldn't agree on whether it was a natural formation or the remnants of a massive, man-made excavation. Strangely, when teams visited the site on foot, the depression wasn't visible from ground level, only from the air. There's also the matter of the animals. In many abandonment cases, livestock either wander or perish. Here, searchers found no animals at all. Not a single bird's nest disturbed, not a stray dog scavenging. It was as if the wildlife, too, had been summoned away or instinctively fled before whatever happened. And that absence stretched beyond the village borders for several miles. Stay with me, because this next detail will surprise you. Tucked into the local archives is an obscure weather report from the night of the disappearance. It describes a dense, low-hanging fog that rolled in without warning, reducing visibility to just a few feet. According to the report, the fog carried an unusual metallic scent and dissipated just as suddenly as it arrived by dawn. No neighbouring towns reported it, suggesting it was hyper-localised, an anomaly that coincided precisely with the villagers vanishing. Theories have since collided, some pointing to clandestine experiments involving sound or electromagnetic fields, others to more unearthly explanations. Certain physicists speculate that under rare conditions, environmental factors could create temporary spatial distortions, essentially rips or folds that could engulf an area and everything within it. While mainstream science has yet to confirm such phenomena, the alignment of strange environmental events here is hard to ignore. And then there are the personal items found long after. Hikers stumbling upon the ruins decades later have recovered objects that didn't match the village's known history. A rusted key stamped with the name of a distant city, a child's shoe from a style manufactured years after the disappearance, and a diary with several pages missing. The handwriting on the surviving entries shifts mid-sentence, as if written by different people who were all telling the same story. One about leaving, one about being taken, and one about returning to find no one there. Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that the disappearance wasn't a single event at all. What if the village is caught in a cycle, appearing, populating, and emptying over and over across decades or even centuries? If that's the case, then somewhere, right now, there could be a new group of residents living their lives, unaware that the clock is ticking toward the moment they too will vanish without a trace. And if that cycle is real, what would happen if someone decided to break it?